All right, day in the life of Mrs. K, day 2. We seem to be sticking to it. Like I said, I always have a lot to talk about. And if that young man got 8,000 views, I'm gonna keep talking till I get millions of views, okay? If there's a way to make some more money, I'm all about it. And this is a pretty, seems like passive way, doing something that I do every day. So I'm here day 2. I'm sure you can see through my glasses that I found my ring light. I know lighting is everything. My previous video wasn't that great. I did it in the kitchen while I was cleaning like breast pumps and stuff. But lost my train of thought. Excuse me. Yeah, I remembered not too many minutes ago that I had a ring light for either my wedding or one of my best friend's weddings. They were both like really close, like 2 months apart. But I remember I got a ring light for an event, and I think it was this. I think I was gonna do like some YouTube stuff for the wedding, and I didn't. I was just so busy. So it was still in the box in my sewing room, which is where I'm at right now. I am a seamstress. That'll be another topic for another day. Today, I want to talk about maintaining milk supply. If you are a breastfeeding mom, if you plan to breastfeed for children in the future, that's what I want to talk about because the struggle is real. So again, I'm just winging this YouTube thing. I've been watching some YouTube clips of people saying how to become a YouTuber, how to start a YouTube channel, how to film and edit. And one thing is to continue to put my eyes in the camera circle instead of looking at myself. So I'm gonna try to maintain that. I do typically look off whether I'm talking to the camera or whether I'm talking to people. But yeah, I'm just winging this thing every day. So hopefully, you know, I get better as I continue. I will invest in some more equipment as I move along if I stick to it. It says, well, they say it takes 21 days to form a habit. So if I stick to it for 21 days, I'll get y'all some new equipment and I'll do some editing and I'll do all the fancy things. But I gotta make myself stick to it. I do that in any situation that I start. If I'm gonna start working out and I'm like, oh, I wanna start buying new clothes. If you stick to this for 90 days, you can buy some new workout clothes, you know? So wear what you got until you show that you're gonna stick to it. That's how I do anything new that I start. So I wanna talk about maintaining milk supply. For anybody who is a breastfeeding mom, maybe you wanna support your spouse or your partner who's trying to breastfeed, and hopefully I can provide some information. I have always been what's known as a just enougher. So whatever I pump today is just enough for him to go to daycare tomorrow, or my husband works from home a couple days a week, so maybe it's enough for him to stay at home with him while I'm at work, whatever the case may be. I've always been a just enougher. Now, at one point in time, well, let me start with my first kid. I had two kids. I have a 9-year-old and I have a 5-month-old. So my 9-year-old, when I say just enough, I mean just enough. I barely made it with him. I had to supplement with formula a lot. There's nothing wrong with using formula. If that's what you have to do. Your baby just needs to be fed. But I really tried to do breast milk. I know some people like do a 50-50, like 50% breast milk in a bottle, 50% formula, to try to get as much as possible. If you are just enougher, if your kid is just like hungry all the time. My first baby, he would take formula. So I supplemented a lot more than I would like to. I worked crazy hours because I worked for a car dealership at the time. And yeah, it was just really hard, really stressful. The social media wasn't as big of a thing a decade ago. So the access to information that I have now, I did not have with that first baby. So a lot of stuff I've learned for the second baby from social media, which has been very helpful. Now, I'm not saying that everything on social media is fact and can be written in stone, but there is a lot of helpful stuff out there. So, yeah, So I just, you know, barely got by. I was barely pumping anything. I didn't have enough information. The second baby now, that second baby had me thinking like I was a pro. Like I was like, maybe I should go to school to be a lactation consultant, because I was just, the resources that were given to me at the hospital and the resources that I had seen on social media, like everything was just so helpful. But I'm still like in the just enough stages. Now, I did get to a point where I was making like 1, maybe 2 extra bottles a day. And that was a sweet spot. Like, ooh, I felt so accomplished. Now, I have used some supplements to help. Of course, if you are breastfeeding, you need to continue to take your prenatal vitamins just like you were pregnant. The best way I can put it is that baby is sucking the life out of you, just like when you were pregnant. So I slipped up with taking my prenatal pills regularly, and I think that's why I fell and hurt myself a couple weeks ago. I'm still recovering from that. I'm currently heavily medicated because my body started hurting from my car accident 48 hours ago. But yeah, I'm going to talk about some the life events that have occurred, and then what I'm trying to do to bring my milk supply back up. So they tell you like you can't stress. They tell you these same things when you're pregnant as well. If you stress, you know it's going to cause problems, complications with your baby when you're pregnant. The baby absorbs those emotions that you feel, and I believe all that is true. But the same thing applies if you're trying to breastfeed. You're no longer pregnant, but like stress and life events can cause your milk supply to just, it's a roller coaster ride, literally. So I may have mentioned some of this in my previous YouTube video. Please go back, check that out, like, comment, share. I have scissors in my hand because like I said, I'm in my sewing room. So this table is full of crafts and whatnot. But again, losing my train of thought. Yeah, okay. So little person, 5-month-old, started daycare. Daycare was a struggle to find because there's just a huge labor shortage in that arena. But we finally found daycare. He started daycare. Of course, after he started daycare, he got sick. I managed to dodge the first round of sickness. It hit my husband pretty hard because he has been working from home for 3 years. They just went back into the office a few days a week. So he hasn't really been exposed to anything. Whereas I work in the school system, I'm exposed to all the germs all the time. So I missed that first round of sickness he brought home. And then maybe like the following week or two, he brought home like a stomach bug. And it only affected him for like a night. He just threw up a lot one night. Just couldn't keep milk down. And when I say him, I mean my 5-month-old. But it hit my husband pretty hard. He was sick for like a whole weekend. And then for some reason, it delayed hitting me. And the following Wednesday, I was like, I used a whole bottle of Pepto and started a bottle of Imodium. But I got through that in like 24 to 36 hours. But then like the following week, he brought a cold home and I caught that. I couldn't fight it off. I mean, I fought it off in the sense that Zicam helped me to shorten the symptoms, but it still hit me. I had a few days I was down. And of course, when you have a stomach bug, you don't eat. You may drink, but you don't eat. I caught that cold. I want to say like a week, maybe a week and a half after I got over the cold, I fell. I fell at my son's daycare. Fell on the sidewalk. I was not holding him. I was walking into the daycare to pick him up. I moved out of the way. I mentioned this in my old video. Slammed all my body weight onto the pavement, onto my shoulder. And I am still hurting from that. Again, I'm currently heavily medicated at the moment because a week after I fell, I totally lost my car. I was rear-ended. And I was kind of bragging, like, you know, the Lord is good, which he still is. He is, regardless of what is going on. But I was like, yeah, we weren't hurt. We weren't injured. Me and my 9-year-old were in the car. Thank God my baby wasn't in the car. And I mean, we didn't have any pain. We didn't have any scratches. Glass was everywhere. We weren't hurt. And I was so grateful for that. And everybody kept saying, I don't know, you know, we were at a standstill. We were stopping. The lady in front of us had stopped. She was trying to make a left turn. We stopped. And I looked up in my rearview mirror. And the truck behind us was not stopping at all. He did not see that we were stopped. So he rammed into us. Basically, the trunk of my SUV was in the back seat of my SUV. It's really bad. So I was just like, we're fine. You know, my shoulder is a little agitated. It's a little worse than it was before, you know, but we're fine. I went to church today because I told y'all in that first video, I love Jesus. And I'm a member of Morningside Missionary Church, 711 Morningside Drive in Mount Holly, North Carolina, where Apostle James Leonard Ford is founder and pastor. Our services are every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Please feel free to join Wednesday night Bible study at 7 p.m. Anyway, shameless plug. So I'm at church, and my son is like, my legs hurt, mommy. My arms are hurting, mommy. Like, he just, you know, I'm like, yeah, you may need some medicine. And like, I get up from my seat and I'm like, ooh, I'm hurting. Things are starting to hurt. And I had complained about my knee hurting when we went to the hospital that night. And that just kind of amplified. And then something about sitting in the car when I drove my husband's car. Being in that position again, like when we were in our accident, it was just very painful. So we came home and we heavily medicated myself. Yes, 10 minutes in, I am still going to talk about milk supply because what I want to say is all of these life events that have occurred have caused my milk supply to decrease. Now, let's say I have formed some amazing habits and my milk supply is just flowing. And maybe I have a bad day and I don't eat the 3,000 calories I'm supposed to eat. I don't take my vitamins and supplements. I'm going to talk about what I take. I don't drink enough water. That one day will not cause my supply to dip the next day. It's usually a series of bad days that eventually catch up to you. So I'm like fighting for my life to get this milk supply back up. I noticed it started to drop last weekend. And I had been taking supplements, but I felt like my supply was doing so well that I just kind of backed off of those supplements. I don't really like taking a whole lot of pills if I don't have to. So I was like, hey, I'm doing good, but I should have continued. I didn't know or realize these are things that I'm learning. I should have continued taking those supplements while I was sick, while I was, you know, going through all these things. So the one thing that I do know that usually works very quick when I need to get my milk supply back up, or if I'm trying to get it up in general, fenugreek. And some people will tell you to use Blessed Thistle with fenugreek. I couldn't find any of that in store. I would have to order it. I love the company, Spring Valley. I believe they're the same exact company I use for my prenatal pills. It's somebody with a green bottle. Nothing against Spring Valley. Only the fenugreek supplement is what I want to talk about. So you can Google fenugreek and it will tell you like there are, it can cause you to have like some digestive issues that can also cause your baby to have digestive issues. So I really didn't want to take it. I think I took it one day and my stomach was feeling funny and my baby was having like real bad gas pain or something the very next day. Now somebody was like, it couldn't hit your baby that fast. Maybe it didn't. Maybe that was just a sign for me to stop because I have tried it before. I've had this bottle for quite some time and I still haven't finished it. Excuse me. So I don't really care. I don't really care for fenugreek. It does work faster than other supplements. Other supplements, you kind of have to keep taking them before they really get into your system. The supplements I do like, and these are not sponsored. It's only my second YouTube video, so I don't have any like ad deals or anything. This is all from personal experience. But I love Legendary Milk. And I don't know where you're located when you're watching this, but Target is the only retailer that I am aware of in my area that sells them, and Target is almost always sold out. So I think that is like a telltale sign that they are popular and they work. So sometimes you can order them on Amazon, or you can order them directly from the Legendary Milk website. They come in these blue bottles, and I am taking 3 different ones. So I just ordered like a 30-day supply. These are 10-day supplies. Let's see, Pump Princess, and they all have their like benefits, their individual benefits, and Cash Cow. Now the website will tell you to, your first time you try them, to try them separately. So like, this isn't my first time trying them, I want to say that. So like try this one for the first 7 to 10 days, and then try this one for the first 7 to 10 days. If they're working, then you can like bundle them and get a discount, which is what I'm doing. I'm bundling and get a discount. Now, one of these I ordered from Amazon, and one of these I got, it was the last one at Target, last Tuesday, when I was trying to fight to get my supply up. My supply had dropped so bad I couldn't send him to daycare. I had to stay home. I wasn't pumping enough milk. I was only making enough to like nurse him, but I couldn't pump additional. So yeah, so Pump Princess, I've been taking since Tuesday. So what is that, day 5? And then Cash Cow, I think came from Amazon on Wednesday. So day 4. So the expectation is by Wednesday, hopefully I start to see like an improvement, a change. The dog's behind me. Thought it was my 9-year-old trying to sneak up on me. Hopefully no later than Saturday. I'm just like flowing with milk and honey, literally. Also, sunflower, this word confuses me a lot. Lecithin, I think that's how you say it. If you have an issue with like clogged ducts, mammary ducts, you can take this to unclog it, and you have to take one soft gel 3 to 4 times a day. If you just want to maintain, to keep the ducts from clogging and just kind of help the flow of milk, then you just take 1, 2 times a day. These 2 with meals 3 times a day. I know, if you're like me, you really don't like popping pills at all, but they're all natural. This one has organic alfalfa. This is the Cash Cow, organic moringa, organic goat's root, organic nettle. And then the Pump Princess has organic black cumin, organic fennel, organic dill. So yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be all natural. It's just supplements. It doesn't have any like drugs in it. And like I said, I've used it before. It was very helpful. I believe it's what caused me to be able to be more than just a nuffer, to be able to pump multiple bottles outside of the ones he needed and still be able to nurse at the same time. So I probably should mention that I nurse when we're together, and I have bottles for him for when we're apart. It also helps to have bottles even if we are at home together, because sometimes I might need a nap, or I might need a shower, or I might want to go for a walk. And that way he can be with my husband, and my husband can feed him and have some alone time with him. So that's the dog. So yeah, I don't know if y'all heard that. Anywho, I don't exclusively nurse. I nurse and I pump. I don't know. I'm definitely looking for additional ideas if anybody have any all natural ways. I drink the body armors. That's like a huge thing on social media, to drink body armor. I have learned that the key ingredient in body armor that makes it like so popular is coconut water, or makes it helpful for breast milk. So I think there's only like 10% of coconut water in those drinks. I don't like the taste of coconut water. So what I have done is I'll get like my 32-ounce cup, which my cup was in my car in my accident. So it's a goner. It's my favorite cup. But I take my 32-ounce cup and I like half and half it. Half coconut water, half a thing of Body Armor drink. So I can try to maximize on those benefits. I try to only do one 32-ounce. I try to mostly drink water throughout the day. And I do, on a work day, I have a 1:30 p.m. coffee because the newborn is a little tiring. And by nature, I'm a morning person, even if I've had no sleep. If I can get up and get moving and be fine, but like around noon, I will start to crash if I have not had any sleep. And so I have a 1:30 coffee at work, and it's mostly creamer. I just need a little kick, and that takes me all the way to bedtime. So I try to mostly drink hydrating fluids. I know you're only supposed to have like 200 to 250 milligrams of caffeine a day. I stay under that number. Yeah, this video is currently twice as long as the last one. If you made it this far, I thank you. I thank you. I love talking all things like mommy, all things breastfeeding. I hope it's helpful. I also use 4 different types of breast pumps. That's another topic for another day when I have them all lined up. I don't have them all with me. I have a handheld, I have a wall pump, I have 2 wearables. I'll say that. Typically I use my wearables when I'm out. I use my wall pump for my first morning pump of the day. And my handheld, I actually haven't used that one in a long time. It used to be very, very nifty to hand express, but I haven't used it in a while. I don't know. Again, thanks. Comment if you have any suggestions. If you like the video, if you have questions that maybe I could answer. I'm not, a licensed professional or anything, but experience. I got a little bit of it. Yeah. Thank you. Day in the life of Mrs. K. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn that little bell thing on so you can see every time I post.